Hi again, everybody. I'm Bill Phillips. It is a Monday, and we are here on the 9-Minute Phillip with a special guest, Ray Suckoch. And Ray, welcome to the 9-Minute Phillip. It's your first time appearing here on the 9-Minute Phillip, which is amazing that it's taken this long to get you on the show. Why won't you allow yourself to be booked on the show?
Very busy days, Bill. I mean, got a lot of priorities in life.
Grandkids,
starting with grandkids, babysitting. Had to take the day off to be here, but I'm here for a good reason and absolutely happy to be with you, brother.
So wait, now before we and now if you don't know, Ray and I used to do high school football games together. We did some high school hoops together.
Yep.
On broadcasts for WTOV9's Games of the Week back in the day.
For about 10 years.
Yeah, outstanding high school basketball coach at Steubenville Big Red. It's one of those things where I just need to know, because I don't want you to forget anything. But who's got the grandbabies today if you don't have them?
Well, my daughter, she's working at home today, and
okay.
She was upset about it, but I got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean?
There you go. You know what we're never upset about? The sponsor for the 9-Minute Phillip. It's the one and only Valley Converting, Mike Biasi and the crew up in the Gem City, T-Town, Toronto. And so Mike and everybody, can't thank them enough for being a part of sponsoring this. And we'll hear a little bit more from them. But what we want to hear and why you're here today specifically is Frank Colella. Now, if you know that name or you've heard that name, resident of the Ohio Valley was his entire life. And if you're thinking, I know that name, but I can't place it. Well, I can always place his face, because you'd see him out on high school football fields, out on basketball courts, reffing games. He was always involved. Tell me about the project that you're doing in his memory.
Well, Frank, he died suddenly 2 years ago. It's been a 2-year anniversary in August, and we have a five-member committee here that we had that started a foundation in his name, and we was kicking around different ideas about how to raise money, and we reached out to everybody, and it's gone very, very well for us. We wanted to give scholarships in his name to keep his legacy alive, and we settled on a golf tournament, and it's a yearly thing, and we're going to tie it in with Central's homecoming weekend. They were gracious enough to Michael Schmeising was gracious enough to include us in all their literature that they put out for their homecoming. So we're thankful for that. So we have a golf outing coming up in his name, the first annual Frank Colella Charitable Foundation golf outing on this Friday at the Steubenville Country Club.
Now, before we get into the foundation and what it's going to help, you mentioned Steubenville Central, and you've mentioned it to me a couple of times. Frank was a member of a championship team. Tell me about his legacy, just being a student athlete and a student and a friend of yours at Steubenville Central.
Well, Frank was a friend, a great friend. A solid individual. He played guard on our 1971 state championship football team. He later went on to play football at Youngstown State, but you couldn't meet a better person. And we had a 50-year anniversary. It was the last one that he was at 2 years ago of that state championship team. We wear this shirt in honor of him and a friend of ours that just passed away as well, Rick Alessi. So we have a lot to be thankful for being here, and this is a great project. We've had great success with the fundraising. As far as that goes, we've had a lot of people step up and help us. Jody Albert at the Spot Bar is sponsoring the dinner. Paul Carpellotti is sponsoring the golf outing. Danny Salida, High Motor Group, and Ed Rice at Signs Limited. I mean, got a lot of people step up in honor of Frank, because in reality, Bill, you got to go a long way to find somebody say something bad about Frank Colella.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell me I want to hear more about this state championship team, because there's always leaders on teams. And there's always that guy that at one point in the season or one play in a game that you have to have it, and it's a close game, it's a tight game. You're like, well, I don't know if we get this done. And it sounds like Frank, he may have been maybe he was more of a lead by example guy. But do you remember anything from that season where he just went, Frank basically told us get on his back and follow him as a guard. To like follow the offensive line. We'll take care of you guys.
Well, what Frank Colella is known for, as far as all that goes, is we had a kicker that went on to kick at WVU, Emil Ross.
Okay.
And he had 19 consecutive extra points, without anything bad happening. And in reality, Frank, 19 field goal attempts.
Mm-hmm.
And on one, Frank missed his block, and the kick got blocked and went right to Frank. And Frank on his lookout block caught the kick and ran and got the first down. Now, I don't think, so that's what stands out to me about Frank Colella. But Frank was a true team player. He was always somebody you could depend on, a true essence of the football team that we played on. But that team is still close today. We hold our friendships dearly. I mean, Dave Tuttle and Mike Mahalik and Paul Carpellotti, some of the good players, Mike Hummel, Tom Perko, God rest his soul, he's gone, Billy Rankin as well. But I could go on and on talking about that team.
All right. Sounds like a great team, great bunch. You got to recognize a lot of those names. Yeah, absolutely. Hans is checking in today. Ray says, hey, Mr. Phillips. Hey, Hans, how you doing? Hopefully everything's good. Talking some charity foundation work with Ray. Tom Pleva checking in. Hey, Ray, nice to see you.
Tom Pleva, good man.
Absolutely. Another good man right here, Brian. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Brian. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. And what we're doing today is we're talking to Ray Suckach, and he is –
You're multitasking.
Oh, absolutely. We got it down over here. Actually, Jordan's here today, and she's in charge. And
behind
she's
the scenes,
producer
right?
extraordinaire. This doesn't happen without her because I'm a mess most days. So, but we're talking about Frank Colella and a charity foundation that they are putting on a golf tournament for this weekend. And you've already, from what you told me, Ray, you've already had so much success with raising the money, and I'm assuming the golf field is already full.
Oh, absolutely. When me and Paul were talking about it, Paul Carpellotti, as well as Jim Abrams and Dan Salee and Danny Orsini are on the committee. They were all supposed to be here, but all of a sudden, they didn't. They got camera shy.
They got bashful.
So, but we said, Paul said, can you get 18 teams? I said, I'm confident I can get 18 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we asked the John Denholm at the Country Club, what's our max?
John's a good man.
And he said 23. So we got 23 teams. We're filled as far as that goes, but all the money that we raise is going to go to scholarships. So we're still beating the tail to get donations. So,
I was going to say, just because the golf field is full and you've done well with donations, any donations are welcome at this point. How can someone make a donation?
Make a donation by sending a check to Paul Carpellotti at Anthony Mining Company, 72 Airport Road, Wintersville, Ohio. In any amount that you want. We've gotten donations from $50 to $10,000. So we're real happy about that. And Frank, in his lifetime, touched a lot of people through refereeing, through the business fields that he was in, and just by being a good person. And I can't tell you enough how happy we are to do this.
So let me ask you this. You can send a check. You can send a check, as Ray just said. But I would think if someone showed up, hey, the golf tournament is going to be played at the Steubenville Country Club. Friday, tee time is at 9 o'clock?
9:30 shotgun
9:30
start, 8:30 registration.
Okay, so if I'm driving by and I hear this today or I see it over the course of the next few days, because this will air over and over and a lot of people will see it and they might think, oh, I need to do that. If I drive by the Steubenville Country Club and I'm going to the tournament, I can go and make it. I don't even have to play, or I just want to make a donation. I can stop there and make a donation.
Well, Bill, we have a great day. I mean, it's more than the golf for the celebration. What we have is the scramble. Shotgun start at 9:30. After that, Jody Albert is sponsoring a pasta dinner at the Spot Bar at 3 o'clock, beginning at 3 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to continue the celebration with an after party at the Spot Bar. twice as nice. So we got a whole day they're going to be playing from 8 to 12.
I need to take Friday off.
Yeah, so this
is going to be something.
Yes, it is. We're real happy with what we have planned for his day of celebration. His entire family's coming up from Florida, Donna and the kids. So we're happy that we're going to be celebrating Frank's life from about 8 o'clock in the morning till past midnight, on Friday. So it's a big day. So
I'm gonna
everybody's welcome.
Ray, I'm going to say this. You guys will be getting after it a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I mean, we got the pasta dinner, which Joe got out for the pasta, the salad, the meatballs, and the bread. And that's $25 as you walk in. And the concert at night is free. So we got a big day, and we're excited about it.
Ray, I love you. And I just want you to pace yourself. Because you're out in that sun all day, and you're gonna have that pasta dinner, and that's gonna sit. And boom, it's gonna be great. It's gonna taste good, and then you're gonna take a nap for an hour somewhere. You're gonna be where'd Ray go? Well, you're gonna be catching a nap. Then you're gonna get your second wind and finish strong.
Well, you sound like Mike Mahalik. Mike Mahalik says, Raymond, you don't understand. We're 70 years old. You know what I mean? So, but I feel good, and I'm one of the younger ones in our class, so it's all good.
There you go. Well, all right. So we talked about the golf tournament. It's going to be a tremendous event. The money's been raised. You can bring more money in. Now let's get down to brass tacks. Let's really get down to what we need. We need the inside scoop of when you're patrolling the Big Red sideline as the head coach of the basketball team, and Frank is calling the game. I want you to tell me, and I don't think Frank will be concerned about this, but I want you to tell me the most heated you got with him in a basketball game, even though you're buddies. But I get, because I know you coaching, I can see you getting after whoever it is. What was the hottest you got at him?
I was verbally abusive to him on several occasions, which he took very, very well, and just told me to just sit down and shut up. But he said,
Did he ever tee you up?
No, he never teed me up. But the tone of his voice and the verbiage that he used made it clear that I had crossed the line of our friendship. That's the best way I could say that.
But and then I would imagine,
but he always, in spite of that, he always volunteered. I mean, the best story that we have goes back to Joe Dunleavy as a basketball coach. As we're raising money, and we get money from Indian Creek and the Booster Club, Joe Dunleavy told me, something about Frank, Raymond, because he was personal friends with Joe from their days as kids when they worked at Burger Chef together.
Okay.
And he said,
Time out. I'm young enough. I don't even know. And got here in 91. Burger Chef.
Burger Chef became Hardee's.
Okay. Now one downtown.
Now it was right across.
Now it's the Viking poker.
Now it's the Viking Social Poker Club. But Frank worked there with Joe Dunleavy. I think Joe's brother Chris was the manager. But Joe told me this as we were raising money. He said, Raymond, all the basketball games that Frank did here at Indian Creek, and he was one of Joe's favorite officials. He said he never took a check. He said, give it to the kids, spend it on the kids. And that right there, that touched me. And I told Indian Creek that when we met with them, that story, because that's Frank Colella.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank Colella was all about giving people second chances. His employees were like family to him. And but that story right there, that hits the nail on the head about what type of person Frank Colella was, that all the games that he did for Joe Dunleavy at Indian Creek, he never took a check.
How in terms of just being that guy that you can turn to, because it sounds like he's a guy that you could go to and ask for advice, ask for help, ask for anything. I mean, it sounds like he was the guy that was ready to reach out to people and help them.
No doubt about it. And that was Frank's legacy. That was in his obituary, and that was known about him, was the guy lived life with a smile on his face and love in his heart. And he never said no to a friend or a stranger. He was always looking to help somebody out. And as all that goes, he was a better man than everything I just said.
Well, we are talking to Ray Suckoch, first of all. We were talking to Ray, and we were talking about the first annual or the inaugural Frank Colella Charity Foundation golf outing. It's September 20th. This is coming Friday. Shotguns start at 9:30. Field is already full, but if you want to make a donation for Frank and the tournament, please do. You can stop by the tournament, drop off some money. You can also mail in a check, and we've got some comments. Let's see. Tim McCoy checking in, Ray. Hey, Raymond, good to see you today. Let's see. Whoa, I hit the wrong button there, Ray. You see that? Here we go. All right.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been up here. I mean, it's used to spend a lot of time up here I had a 10-year run with you, I think, from about 95 to 2005.
Yeah. Well, Craig says good morning. I've been here. So we thank you for checking in. Kudos to all the 213 boys on the 1971 Central State Football Champions. That's from Tim McCoy.
That must be
that's Tim McCoy.
Yeah, he's a 213 boy with Mike Mahalik up there and Dave Smith, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
They should have went to JU, but they chose Catholic Central.
Burger Chef was located at the current Dairy Queen location on Sunset Boulevard. Yum. I don't know. You guys have a disagreement over that? I'm not sure.
That's there's two of them. There was two of them. There was two.
There was two. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize.
One downtown across from the post office.
Okay.
And the other one up on Sunset.
Didn't know that. I had never heard of the Burger Chef.
Yep.
And then it was okay. All right. Dairy Queen's pretty good. We should go get an ice cream later, just for old time's sake.
I get a Blizzard.
Ooh, Blizzard's nice. You know what's good, Ray? Just a medium vanilla cone on a sunny summer day.
No, when I go big, man. I go as many calories as I get.
Okay.
I usually get an Oreo Blizzard.
Now we need to bring Jordan in on this. She thought she was getting through this whole show without having to talk. But Jordan is an expert Dairy Queen cone Blizzard creator.
I like it.
Jordan, what's your favorite thing to make?
I don't know.
She's that good at it.
Way to jump in there, Jordan. Way to jump in.
Probably like a dipped cone because it's easy.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah.
It's like magic, though. It's like the Wizards
like the sprinkles.
Oh,
my grandkids like the twist sprinkles in a cup.
Yep.
Well, you know what we're going to do right now, Ray? We're going to take a quick time out, and we're going to hear from our Valley Converting sponsors.
Mike Biasi played guard for me for the Harding Bulldogs and Big Red.
He said he was all state. Is that true?
I don't know about that, but
he did his best.
Yes, he did.
Right.
He played hard.
Let's hear from Valley Converting.
Every piece of paper has a story. What if that story didn't end when you were done with it?
At Valley Converting, we turn your old paper products into recycled paperboard, continuing the story.
Locally owned and operated in Toronto, Ohio, bringing your paper to Valley Converting isn't just about recycling.
It's about supporting a cleaner, greener future for all of us.
We are here 5 days a week to help you make some green by going green.
And remember,
recycle for your future.
All right, we are back with Raymond Suckoch. We are talking about the Frank Colella first annual, inaugural, however you want to put it, golf tournament that's going to happen this Friday at Steubenville Country Club. It's going to be a shotgun start at 9:30. Field is already full, so if you want to get into it for next year, be on the lookout because I would imagine a lot of guys are going to they're going to sign back up right away because it's going to be run that well. They do a great job with the charity golf tournaments out there. And if you want to stop by Friday and talk to Ray, maybe talk to, maybe you didn't realize what's going on, drop off a check, drop off some money, make a donation. You'll be able to do that. Now, the big thing, Ray, is, first we're going to check in with Ron. Here's Ron. Ron always brings the heat on the 9-minute Phill-Up. Absolutely does. Ron Utter, he's got Burger Chef St. Clairsville beside the State Patrol was his hangout. So, that's what happens. We have a conversation, then just kind of morphs.
Got a lot of interest
then all of a sudden it just kind of morphs into a bunch of other stuff. Ron, thank you very much for checking in. Got to thank everybody for checking in every day. It's a great honor to have you guys check in and take the time to spend it with me and me and Jordan on the 9-minute Phill-Up. But Ray, so we've got the money. People have made the donations. There's still going to be more coming in. The tournament's ready to go. So now what happens with the money? Where does it go from here for Frank?
Our game plan with this is this year we're going to give $1,000 scholarship. We met with Central, we've met with the officials at Indian Creek as well as Teddy Gorman at Big Red. Last year, we gave our first scholarship to Terry Hansen at the Jefferson County JVS of $1,000. But what we want to do now is to keep Frank's legacy alive is we're going to continue to move these scholarships around and try and touch as many high schools as we can. But we want to go into we want to give out the interest that we make on this money.
Okay.
Just trying not to get into the principal. And that way, maybe next year they might be 3 scholarships of 750. But that's down the road. But we hope, our goal is that we hope that the seniors that we give this to, and we have a website at frankcolella.org, that people can go to read about the life of Frank Colella. And our goal is the fact that we hope that these seniors that get this scholarship as years go on, they're as proud to receive it as we are proud to give it. And that's the whole basis.
I hope they pay it forward. Hope they do the same thing.
And that that's the whole crutch of this, because like I've said earlier, is Frank Colella was always willing to help somebody when they were down, whether it was a friend or a stranger. And we're doing this in his legacy. And I told the other committee members, they're older than me. I said, I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to give you as many years as I can, but it's going to be, the money will still be there to continue to give. Yeah. And the relationships that we're going to build now with the schools will carry it on, because we can develop a rotation and schools will know when we're coming back to them.
Okay. Now, the frankcolella.org website.
Yes.
Can you donate there?
Yes, you could go online and donate there. I'm not real technologically wise on how you do it.
That makes 2 of us.
Yeah, I know, but there's a credit card statement on there. And
you know what always seems to work easiest, though? When you have to pay your bill, they make that as simple as possible. It's
absolutely.
Like they get your money real easy.
Absolutely.
So you can go. So great. So that's another way we can donate.
It's a 501c3.
So you save on taxes.
Charitable foundation. Paul Carpellotti put a lot of work into getting this done. Jim Abrams on the committee did all the legal work. I didn't realize there was so much legal work just by creating a foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, to get that tax exemption, that's tough. Right. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Ryan. When we're sitting here and we're talking about Frank and everything he's done, and hold on, let's check in with Ryan. Nice to meet you, Ray. Good luck with the charity.
Thank you.
Ryan checking in. Can't wait for another Sports Friday. Absolutely. Looking forward to that. That was from Brian. And it's one of those things, and you tell me, you tell me, but I think one of the things is, people say, how do I want to be remembered? If you were writing your own obituary, we have those class assignments in high school or college or whatever it is. How would if you died, and you had to write your own obit, all that type of stuff. What does it tell you? And a lot of times I think if someone says he was a good man, that's about as good as it gets.
Absolutely.
But what does it tell you about your friend that this many people, not just you and a couple other guys, but I mean, it sounds like an army of people are working to put this together. What does that tell you about Frank and the way he lived his life?
Oh, I mean, it tells me what I knew. I'm just glad I knew this about Frank. What I'm most happy about is that everybody else knew too. Because like I said, the donations have come from $50 to $10,000, and classmates and guys that aren't, and ladies that aren't even coming to the golf tournament sent money in and says, hey, I loved what Frank did. He was a salt of the earth type of guy. He started out his business with $200 in his pocket, and he built a business empire. God bless him. But that's what I could say about Frank, is he was salt of the earth, and it just touches my heart. All the donations that came from all over, whether they were classmates, whether they were coaches, whether they were just friends, whatever it was, that's about Frank Colella right there.
Because I know someone's out there going, well, what was his business empire? What did he do?
Well, Frank started out with a recycling business, but his number one thing was Cool's Hoagies. He started out with Cool's Hoagies downtown. He was a 1977. I was the first manager of Cool Hoagies at nighttime. I taught school at Grant, and I ran Cool's Hoagies at night. And he went from Cool's Hoagies to the Pasta Village. That was the old Federico Spaghetti House.
Okay.
Then he had a recycling center, and then he got into computers, and he was selling computers to the Pentagon. So from there, then he had 2 car dealerships, but later he has 2 car dealerships still going now, but Ohio Motor Group. But what he did other than that was he was in the fracking and the water trucks for all that. So he had a 25 truck fleet that he ran in trucking. So he was a master of all. Man.
But he always took the time to give back to people.
And he was a very, very generous person. He always picked up the check, which I loved. You know what I mean? He always,
Ray, I don't ever remember you picking up the check when we've gone out to lunch or anything. Get those alligator arms going. All right. Well, Ray, we're going to wrap things up. And so one more shout out on the tournament on Friday, and just what this event means for you.
It's an exciting day. We hope you come by, say hello, either at the golf tournament from 9:30, shotgun start. A lot of people out there. A great
and that's at the Steubenville Country Club.
Steubenville Country Club, a great silent auction we have there. The donations and the gifts that we have to give away out there. Then Jody Albert's going to sponsor a pasta dinner at 3:00. That's you can
down at
walk
the Spot Bar
at 3:00 at the Spot Bar. You can walk in and eat, or walk in and get a drink, or just walk in and say hello. And then at night we have the Twice as Nice, the local band that's a big hit from 8 to 12. That will also be at the Spot Bar. So it's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a good day.
Absolutely, man. And we're real happy to do it.
Well, Ray, I can't thank you enough for stopping in on 9 Minute Phill-Up.
You're my man. You've always been there for us. Thank you so much.
Anytime. So, and what we're planning on doing, or at least what I hope to do, is maybe get out there, get the camera out so we can see that golf swing of yours, because I hear you're like scratched now.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's nice moving up to the senior tees. I know that.
Okay. Any advantage you can get, right?
Absolutely. In life.
That's absolute. Life's too hard. Take advantage of the advantages.
Absolutely.
All right. Raymond, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for checking in. Did I miss any comments, Jordan? Or I think we got everybody.
Thank you so much, Bill, for having us. We appreciate your support.
No problem. Anytime. Let's see. We've got Dover and Steubenville this week. We have Tuscarawas County Fair this week also. There's a lot going on in the Valley this weekend.
Big Red got a big game Friday night. Central got homecoming on Saturday at 1:00.
Yeah.
So it's a big weekend.
Yeah. And Ron always seems to get the final word. His final word: great food and friends. Now that's a night to remember.
Thank you so much. I agree.
We will leave that there with Ron. Ray, thank you again. Have a great tournament on Friday. Looking forward to seeing how that all goes. It sounds like it'll be absolute great sensation. And again, got to thank Valley Converting, Mike Biasi, and the crew up in Toronto.
That's Gino's boy.
Yeah, T-Town up in the Gem City. Until next time, Ray, you know the 2 rules. 2 rules. Have fun and always try your best. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.